Fine, I gotta try to do this for a third time, and I'm gonna be wearing the damn fucking gold glasses, or the fucking copper glasses while I do this. I had requested an investigation on March 22nd of 2020. It was after that governor called that state of emergency, which, by the way, all these states of emergency happened pretty much around the same time after that special exception on that emergency appropriations bill that Congress passed last November while everybody else was supposed to be focused on what is it, fucking impeachment? And then they have this bill where they wanted to have an emergency appropriations for HHS and DHS. And nobody saw, nobody talked about, but that basically was dated to be in effect until what would have been the 1 year on the president's DOD budget, which had already been apparently suppressed or recapitulated, part of some other kind of legislative process they had going on in September that nobody talked about. The point of the matter is that after this, on March 22nd, I'm downtown in Dallas at one of those homeless providers that hasn't been shut down yet. And I say, if there's anything about the National Institutes of Health that has anything close to integrity left about them, then I need an investigation. I need an investigation of insurance companies that have billed within the last 5 years for particular injuries that are part of accessing or billing for specific classes of diagnostic codes that would then require the prescription of a specific type of prosthetic, a temporary prosthetic that would be used as part of the healing, in addition to the other kinds of treatment that would come along with that. Not just the kind of prescriptions that go into actual medications, but the medical assistance devices, the medical devices, specifically the boots. And then that would need to be cross-referenced with the manufacturers as well as the distributors, which also includes the people that provide the components for the manufacture, because the concern is the actual components that are put into the manufacture are connected to chemicals that themselves would be a part of the petrochem efforts to deal with the situation going on right now, where they have massive loans due and massive deals due that are being handled in one manner because allegedly we have a health pandemic. And this was supposed to be evaluated for the last 5 years. It's been 6 months. We're coming up on exactly 6 months since that original request was made. I understand that there was an ample opportunity within the last, 3 days, if not the last week, to actually start delivering on that information and coordinating and cross-referencing it with a number of other factors that could effectively lead us into a position where we could shut down these criminals. And then from there, we need to analyze and assess whether or not there were specific individuals that were targeted, specific minors, female minors, from specific kinds of demographic experience indicators, as well as family lines that have access to certain kinds of political and economic capital, and or whether or not there were earlier reported injuries of that specific type associated with women that were going through domestic violence in homeless shelters that may have been used as some sort of test subject in testing out the technological means by which to effectuate the injury with precision, so that when it got applied to the other demographic experience, that it was done in a way that was less suspect and more precise. That could all have been done by now, and rather than a bunch of ballyhooing over protesters talking about the things they're talking about, law enforcement would actually be earning what it says it's entitled to earn right now by going after the guys it should be going after.